produce insulin. Okay, thank you. When the body is unable to produce insulin or use insulin effectively, this is when this issue arises. The problem statement, it is about Gilead Health Clinic. They have a hard time with the growing challenge of effectively managing and preventing diabetes. The data set used for this project was obtained directly from Gilead Health Clinic, and the goal is to predict the likelihood of diabetes onset by developing a robust diabetes prediction model that will accurately identify individuals at the risk of developing diabetes. These are the details of my data set. You will see that as I go on, but my data set contains 9 variables and 100,000 observation units. There are some things I wanted to take note of here. My target here is to predict whether an individual is developing diabetes or not. And I have several medical predictors here. Take note, please, of the HbA1c level. Take note of blood glucose level. Hemoglobin A1c level indicate average blood sugar level over the past 3 months for an individual under this examination. Then the blood glucose level is the current blood glucose level of individuals. Now, I had a few challenges with my data set because when we get data set like that, most of our data sets are uncleaned, and we have to do the cleaning before feeding them to our machine learning model. So my data set of 100,000 observation points had about approximately 4,000 duplicates, which account for about 4% of my data set. And if this is not properly addressed, it will have negative impact on the machine learning model. The data set also was imbalanced. You will see that as I keep going right now, because one of the 2 classes took up approximately 92%, while the other class took approximately 9%. And this can force the model to be biased towards the majority class. Now, when we are working as data scientists, we also engage in what we call exploratory data analysis. Just become, even if you don't know this yet, these are the things we learned at Tenalytics. All right. So, and this is just to familiarize ourselves with the data set we are working with to really know what is the constituent of the data set you are working with. Now, I checked the distribution of gender, and I discovered that females are the most frequent gender. They have over 50,000 instances. Males slightly fewer than that, about 45,000 instances. Others is a bit negligible. Then I checked the distribution of target variables. Remember, I told you at the beginning that my target is diabetes, to know whether an individual is diabetic or non-diabetic. And I mentioned something about majority class the other time, and that is what I am showing here. The non-diabetic is the one indicated by no, and it represents about 91.18% of the data, which makes it the majority class. And the yes, which is diabetic, represents only 8.82, and this shows significant class imbalance. And I had to resample my data. Pardon me for all these big things. If you don't understand, you will still get to know all this. I use smooth technique to address the imbalance for my predictive modeling. I checked the distribution of smoking history of every individual here, and I discovered that the never and the no info are the largest groups, around 30 to 35,000 instances. The current and the former are mid-sized, and the ever and non-current, they are the smallest group with very low counts. I checked the distribution of age. Let me jump to the box plots. I will show you a better picture of the distribution of age in the next slide. So the box plot here shows that the median age appears to be around 40 to 45. If I can get my laser pen here. Okay, around 40 to 45. This is the median line here. Then the interquartile range indicates that the majority of the population falls between the ages of roughly 25 and 60. That means the majority of them are between this age range. Then I said you should wait for this next slide. The division of age group, I had to group the ages for better visualization and to get better understanding of the different age groups that are in my data set. And the middle-aged adults that are between the ages of 45 and 60, 45 and 60 years have the highest frequency. So they are the most populous group, and followed by adults of 30 to 45 years of age. Then other groups like seniors 60 to 75, then young adults 18 to 30 also have significant frequencies. And but elderly, adolescents, childhood, toddlers, early childhood, and infants, they are the classes with the lowest frequencies in the data set. Now, distribution of hemoglobin A1C level. Let me say this before I go deep into this. The 0.6 of hemoglobin A1C level indicates the borderline for pre-diabetes. Around 5.7 to 6.4 is the borderline for pre-diabetes, but 7 and above is typical of diabetes. Now, looking at this now, we will see that the majority of individuals here have hemoglobin A1C level around 6. Now, checking from here, you see that the majority are around 6. And this is the most common range. And there are smaller frequencies of individuals with hemoglobin A1C at 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9. So this distribution suggests that most of the population have hemoglobin A1C level at the borderline or near the borderline of pre-diabetes, with fewer individuals in the higher ranges that are typical of diabetes. You can see from 7, 8, and 9, we have fewer numbers of individuals there. Then distribution of blood glucose also, I told you to also take note of that. We see that the highest frequencies are in the low blood glucose range. You can check it from 0 to around 170 here. I don't know if you can see my laser pen there. Around 170, they have the highest frequencies, but the frequencies decreases at the blood as the blood glucose level increases. That is like an inverse relationship there. We'll say that we have fewer people who have high blood glucose level. Now, I also try to compare every other feature with my target feature, which is with my target variable. So I compare smoking history with diabetes, compared body mass index, hypertension, I compare gender, hemoglobin A1C level, blood glucose level, age, and heart disease. I compared all of them with diabetes. Now, what I could glean from them, I listed them here. For smoking history, I didn't find any significant difference in diabetes prevalence among these different smoking categories. And for body mass index, I discovered that those with diabetes tend to have a higher BMI. So this is a correlation between higher BMI and diabetes. For hemoglobin A1C levels, I discovered that individuals with diabetes have significantly higher HbA1c levels. It is expected because hemoglobin A1c level is a key marker for diabetes. Blood glucose level is also a key marker for diabetes, and people with diabetes have higher blood glucose levels compared to those who don't have. Now, talking about gender, the diabetes prevalence is relatively similar among these genders. Then hypertension, there is higher prevalence of diabetes among those with hypertension. Then people with heart disease are more likely to have diabetes compared to those who don't have. Also, age. Individuals with diabetes tend to be older in this data set with a higher median age compared to those without diabetes. So in summary, my BMI, hemoglobin A1C levels, blood glucose level, hypertension, heart disease, and age are closely associated with diabetes. So this also dug deeper into that with my correlation matrix. And the strongest correlations here, we can see blood glucose level and diabetes. We can see hemoglobin A1C level and diabetes here. Then we can see age and BMI here. So diabetes and blood glucose level have moderate positive correlation of 0.42. Diabetes and hemoglobin A1C level 0.41, that's similar, also moderate. Then BMI and age, as I showed you here, also has positive correlation, but not as strong as blood glucose level and diabetes A1C level. Then there are also some other moderate correlations here: age and diabetes, hypertension and age, BMI and diabetes. What all this translates to, you will get to know deeper when you enter into Tenalytics. Then there are those with weaker correlations also, and those with minimal or no correlation. Now, I worked on 8 machine learning algorithms in total, and I got all my evaluation metrics here: accuracy score, precision score, recall score, ROC, AUC, all in percentages. But so as not to bore you with all this, I will go to the summary of everything. So this summarizes the performance of my models. My XGBoost classifier performs the best overall, but the recall is relatively lower. My random forest is reliable, balanced precision, and recall. My k-nearest neighbor is highly biased towards the recall. My SGD classifier has high recall but poor precision. My support vector machine, high recall, poor precision also. Naive Bayes is just unsuitable for my data set. My decision tree also performs well, but I sense it may be prone to overfitting. Then logistic regression has high recall but poor precision. Now, somebody might be wondering that you faulted some of these things. What next do you think you can do about them? And I'm going to round off with that. What I still want to do to perfect or to make my models better, I can do hyperparameter tuning, which I will still do to make it better. I will fine tune the hyperparameters of the model with higher accuracy, like my XGB, my random forest, and this will improve the recall and the precision. Then let me jump to ROC analysis. I can do further ROC analysis to decide the optimal threshold for each of my models. So this optimal threshold will be used for my threshold adjustment for models with high recall and low precision, like my logistic regression right now, SGD and SVC. So I will do adjustments to those, and it will help balance my precision and my recall. I can also engage in cross-validation to confirm that the result generalizes well. Then finally, ensemble method, I will combine my random forest and my XGBoost in an ensemble to leverage their strength. All these will be done to better the performance of my model. Thank you very much for listening, and God bless you.
Awesome. Fantastic. I don't know. I don't have words to actually quantify that particular project. Guys, I know you might not really understand what he has been saying, but as a data scientist, right, I understand, and I can comfortably employ Benga to handle my pharmacy, right? Because I know very well that it's going to do good in terms of analysis. Guys, the beautiful thing about data is it is everywhere. We do not have a limitation. You cannot say, oh, because I am a data scientist, I cannot work in the hospital. Guy, you can actually work in the hospital, right? So we are actually everywhere. So far as you are in this particular tech space, there is always a room for you in every industry. Just as what Benga has actually presented for us, right? That is actually for a hospital, right? So it is actually not in, should I say, the commercial space. It was actually for hospital. So you can imagine that you being a data scientist and then you are working in the hospital. You must not be a medical doctor. You must not study medicine and surgery, right? You might not study anything related to health, okay, for you to be in that particular space. Thank you very much, Benga. But I just want to ask 2 questions, just 2. The first one is, how long did it take you to get to this level as a data scientist?
Oh, just 3 months.
Wow. Okay. 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 Wow. Guys, did you hear that? 3 months. So if you think you cannot do it, please ask Benga. If Benga can do it, you can actually do it. In the space of 3 months, look at the amazing thing he was able to do. Okay, so let me ask, did you have any prior knowledge? Did you have any prior knowledge before joining Analytics?
Maybe something just very light, kind of. But the beauty of it in Analytics is that you have people who will hold your hands all the way to get to where you are going. You have amazing tutors who will tell you what you are saying. You might feel it's difficult, but when your tutor keeps repeating to you that this thing is easy, you'll see, oh, I'll do it right now. This thing is easy. You say, this really encouraged me to really dive deeper into it. And I know that it's possible, and it's really possible.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. And awesome work. As a data scientist, I am telling you, thumbs up. That was super amazing. All right. Thank you very much for, finding time for us tonight. I really, really appreciate it. And keep up the good work, and, keep the fire burning, then go down, continue to improve yourself. Okay, there is far more that you can actually do as a data scientist. Thank you very much. And yeah, well done to you.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
All right. Okay, guys, so that was a data scientist, and under 3 months, like, he was able to do that amazing thing. So if you can do it in 3 months, trust me, you can actually do it. Okay, so let's listen, or let's look at what our cybersecurity participant has for us today, right? That was data science. Now it's time for the cybersecurity. Hello, Saludin. Are you there? Confirm you can hear me, Saludin.
Salahuddin.
Can you turn on your camera so I can spotlight you? All right. Okay, so how are you doing tonight?
Good day, good night, good evening. I'm very well, and you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Good to have you on the call, and thank you for creating time for us tonight. What do you have for us? Can you share your screen and let's see? Please, 10 minutes. Thank you very much.
Just a minute. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, we can see your screen. Just select your PowerPoint. Yeah, you're good to go. You can put it on your presentation. Awesome. You have the floor, please. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Salahuddin Lafenwa from the Cybersecurity Cohort for July. Today I'll be speaking briefly about my capstone project, which was real-time threat monitoring. The goal of this project is to set up a real-time log analysis and threat monitoring for a small network of users which I've created on my environment. Doing this, I'll be setting up, or doing this, I set up Wazoo Elastic for centralized logging. Wazoo Elastic, they are both different tools, same tools, which is system information and security information and events management tools. They are both open source, so it's available for anyone to download and get hands on them. Sorry. This would be the scope of my project. I won't bore us with it. This is the architecture of what I've done. So basically, I set up my Windows 10 and also Kali Linux on my system. Then I'm setting up Wazoo and Elastic on my Ubuntu server. The Wazoo Elastic is actually integrated, so it's not like they are separate. It's an
Hello,
integrated.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, please, can you be audible? Like, we're struggling to hear you.
Thank you. It's probably my voice. I don't know. I have cold, so just getting better.
So sorry about that.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, you can go.
My volume. So sorry about that. So I was saying, I have my Wazoo Elastic installed on my Ubuntu. Then I would also be having an attacker installed on the same system, which will be simulating attacks on my Windows and my Kali Linux. Sorry. This is just a brief explanation of what SIEM is all about, which is Security Information and Events Management, which is a system which enables a user, or should I say a corporation, to have all of their systems in one place instead of having people monitoring individual systems. It creates an environment for an organization to have everything all in one place, to have a centralized monitoring of all the systems present in an organization. So I actually won't be showing on the Insta because the installation I had already done that. So this is just a page confirming the successful installation of the Wazoo Elastic. This shows, this is just, I think I can show this live while I'm simultaneously while I'm also, okay. Just a moment for that to come up. So this is my dashboard for. So I was just speaking about agents. So having set up this environment, would want to deploy new agents, which new agents in the sense that adding up systems which you want to monitor. So while I was talking about my architecture just now, I made mention of Windows and Kali Linux. So these are the Windows and Kali Linux which I will be monitoring today. So, sorry. Then the implementation steps, I enabled SSH and network connectivity troubleshooting, then setting up log forwarding, ECHI, RSys-log. We also have system check and many more from the configuration file. It's actually quite a lot more. I wouldn't want to. There are a lot of rules and configuration files, but I don't want to bore with all of this for now. So I'll just run through so we can know just the basics of what's I had done. So this is what I showed us. This is showing what this implies. The firewall drop is just if we have say an SSH from an unknown or unwanted IP address. What this firewall drop does is it blocks the IP address, which would have spawned this role ID of 6122. And this timeout is in seconds. So this is about 3 minutes here. So this what this other part of the image does is the OSEConf the remove threat is it removes while I was setting up I created a file which I named remove threats. So when I executed the file, what this was meant to do is to delete that particular file, which I won't be showing because I have to set it up from the scratch. This is also part of the rule, setting up rules to automate my environment. This is what I did with the Windows agent. I would just like to show us something here. Let me take us to, so all what I've managed to say won't be like not making sense. So so let me go to my Windows and so this is my window on my virtual machine. So say someone is trying to access my window who doesn't have my password. So I'll just enter a random password which is incorrect. This should send a log back to my SIEM environment. should die in about a minute. Okay, so this is what I've just done. Logon failure. So if someone is trying to access my system and I'm not there, this is what I'll be getting to notify me someone is trying to access my system. So let me go back to my Windows. So let me just log in and show something else. Oh, sorry. So I've actually made this system vulnerable. I had to disable the Windows Defender and all, so you can allow me. So let's say, okay, let me show since this opened. So what for me to get a log from whatever I'll be doing now, this directory real time, this one here, if I should make any changes in any of these specified folder under the downloads and the desktop folders, I'll be getting an alert. And this is what will be enabling me to get the alert. So say, okay, let me go back here. So say this is the folder. Since I have desktop specified in the room, I'll open that. Let me create a text file. See this file. Let's see if that will actually delete it. So delete it, yeah. So going back to so can go to integrity monitoring, then files. So this is showing what I've just done, which is saying this is the full log here, which is saying a text file this text file.txt was added in real time. Then this was when I deleted the created file. This text file deleted. So basically, it's the environment just creates an automated system for system users to be able to monitor whatever goes on in an organization that has more than one systems to monitor, since one person can be in multiple locations at the same time. So it creates that centralized platform for organizations. Then for incident response, this incorporated this VirusTotal, which when it senses, what this does is because there is a site called VirusTotal, which this is also, I can say it's an open, it's a website, so it's open to anybody. Here what we can do here, if we have an IP that we think or we feel is associated to malware, we can come here to search for the IP address. Let me just search for any random 2.6.2.4. So this is actually clean. It's all clean. So if let's just assume we have like an IP address which is associated to malicious activities, we are going to be seeing it here. So then we can carry out reconnaissance on the IP address. So I have incorporated VirusTotal to my agent, which allows whenever it senses the malicious activity on the system, what it does is it scans it and it informs me, and it also deletes it. So when I created the text file, what it did was it scanned the file to see if it's associated to a malicious activity, but it isn't. So that's why it's all showing 0, 0. Whereby this one was what I downloaded earlier today. It's a test virus. It's a test virus and it's associated to malware. So this is why it's saying it's under virus total positives, which is 59. So
Okay,
this is
hello, Saliu. I don't know if I allow you, you're going to literally teach us. Okay, so I don't want you to share all the knowledge you had in 3 months, okay, in 10 minutes to these guys, because you end up confusing everybody. Okay,
sorry
so
about that.
can you just summarize and then let's see the end result of what you did. Thank you.
Okay, so basically the whole thing I've been saying since is just having a system, all systems in one place being monitored for an organization. Yeah. Which allows for an organization to be able to respond to threats and attacks in real time before it gets too deep into the organization. So I think I should just show this, then I'll just round up. Pardon me, please. Okay, I'll just speak about it. Don't need to show this. What this does is it tells a system where what it can do to improve. It's if this system senses that the system is not compliance in some areas, like the password length is too short or the password is too simple. It gives some sort of like suggestion for users to implement. So I think this is me rounding up. So Wazoo ALK is actually a very comfortable and easy tool to use. So long one gets the hang of it, it's nothing of a big deal, and it's a broad tool as well. So it's not something that can be should I say overemphasized, or the importance can be overemphasized, and it's not something that you can exhaust here. It's inexhaustive, if that is something. So guess I'll just say thank you for listening to me. Yeah.
All right, thank you very, very much, Saludin. I'm really, really, really impressed. Like the whole terminologies, I'm confused, please. Did you actually say you joined analytics in July, or is it up to a year? Because I'm confused.
July. I did join in July.
Serious, like July. Final answer, July.
Yeah, July.
Wow, this is super, super impressive. Like you're able to learn all this, and then the beautiful part of it is the way you've literally showcased it. You even want to teach us this thing so that we know that you know this thing, you are grounded in it. And I'm really, really proud of you. Trust me. If you joined in July and this is an amazing thing you are doing, thumbs up and kudos to you. Okay, so I love the fact that I even saw the whole thing in real time, guys. I believe you also saw it with me. Okay, the fact that he tried to use the wrong password and he was getting a notification from the back end that, hey guy, somebody's trying to log into your system. Okay, that is super, super amazing. Okay, that's why I said from the beginning, if you do not have a cybersecurity in your organization, then you are bound to, get into troubles with hackers that are everywhere now. Okay, I'm super excited at what you've done, and well done. So if you do this in 3 months, guys, this guy can, if you can actually do it in 3 months, you yourself, you can actually do it. Okay, so thank you very much for your time, Saludin. I'm super, super impressed. And well done on the amazing thing you've done. Keep pushing and keep doing amazing things. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, so we have the last but not the least, we have the data engineering participant that is going to also wow us and blow our minds off once again. I want to believe the data scientists as well as the cybersecurity personnel has already blown your mind. But let's just finish everything. Let's crown it all up with the data engineering participant who is going to walk us through what he has actually done as well. Okay, hello Onibio, are you there? Please confirm you can hear me. You can turn on your camera so that I can spotlight you, and let's see the amazing thing you have for us.
Okay, I can hear you. Just a minute. Can you? Okay.
All right, awesome. We can actually see you, so let me spotlight you so that everybody
Oh,
can
okay.
see. All right, and welcome to our maiden session. I just want to ask one question before you start. Right, so how long have you been in analytics? When did you
Okay.
start?
I think it's the same for every person. That's about 3 months now.
3 months. And I love the fact that you guys are doing an amazing thing in 3 months. And I'm super open for you to blow my mind off. Please, you have the floor. Let's see the amazing thing you were able to do under 3 months training with analytics.
Okay, so I think I'll just share my screen now.
Yes, please, you have the floor.
Okay, so okay, all right. Good day, everyone. I'll just try and be quick about it because of time. So, for data engineering, just to give a bit of background, we're all learners, but since we have people who are still coming on board or trying to make a decision, the data engineering person is the one who would like prepare files for use by the data analyst or data scientist. So you have seen the data scientist who has talked about how data can be used within the healthcare system, but that data that is being used by the data scientist is more of the outcome of the job of the data engineer. So this project I'll just try and showcase very quickly is you know working with a betting organization. So what do bet organizations do? They have a number of sports that they have on their websites where people can now place bets on either of those sports. So the challenge here is we just focus on football, okay? And for the football, we only focus on Championship, Premiership, and League One. So the idea is go to these guys' websites. What they want to do in terms of objective of the um, goal is to be able to get comprehensive insights into their various sporting events. In this case, for the football, and they would leverage historical data. So for historical data, they're looking at getting data, not current season. I'm not a football person, okay, and it's one of those things that you learn with analytics. I'm one of the few guys that, for some weird reasons, I really don't know so much about football. So this project, for instance, helped me to understand leagues. So, but then you have to have data or prepare data not for the current league alone, but get data for current league and for also past league. So in terms of getting the data, we actually worked with about 30 years. Okay. And for a betting company, you want to be able to make predictions. If you don't have data, then you're not able to do predictions. You're not able to forecast. So that's the whole idea. So you need, or this company needs data. I'm going to rush through. And this is the website. So from the website, you can see, quite a number of things. There's poker, casino, and the rest. Okay, but we are just focusing on Premiership, Championship, and League One. And for a data engineer, you have like 3 jobs to do, sort of. There's what we call the ETL, more like summarizing the job of the data engineer. You extract data, that's for the E. Then you do what we call cleaning. So you clean the data, you transform it, then you load it up. Okay, so sometimes the word data engineering can sound very big, but the more you do, the more you see that with time you get acquainted with the entire process. So you do extraction, you load it, and then you transform the data, and then you load. So for this particular pipeline that was created, I used Python and VS Code, SQL, Postgres database. Then, in terms of persisting the data, we used the leveraged on the task scheduler on the Windows operating system. So this is more to give like an overview of the direction as to how the data was or the project was executed. So we extracted the data from the website using Python. Then the data is extracted and loaded into a data set folder we have on the laptop, and we saved it in CSV format. After that, we had to transform the data. In extracting the data, there are quite a number of things that needs to be cleaned. There are missing records that we need to find logical ways of treating. There are inconsistencies in format that we also have to handle. There are type differences. So, yeah, this is like an introduction just to give a bit of background about it. But the terms are not so difficult. It's just for you to start and you begin to see how you can also make, begin to develop things like this. Then the data source, like I shown before, is the website. That is where the data is. So as a data engineer, you need to know where you want to pull your data from. So for data source, it is a website. Okay, so this is the extract process. This is just showing how I'm connecting to the website. So connecting to the website, I'm using Pandas, which is a module in Python. Okay, so I'm using Pandas to connect. So at this stage, I'm just looking at, okay, what is the logic I will use to get my data? Then in extracting the data, what will I also be doing after extraction? I would save it somewhere. Okay, so and that is what is done here. Now, as I said earlier, as a data engineer, you do extraction. After extraction, you transform. So the transformation also coincides with the word cleaning. So what do? You begin to look out for this data that I have extracted. It is for a particular purpose. Okay, and as I said, you have the data scientist and data engineer who would be the ones to use this data. So the data they will use, the data engineer must ensure that it is fine, it is correct. It is a cleaned form of data. So any anomaly in the data, you have to try and take it out so that they do not have to deal with that. So when I'm extracting my data, I'm checking all the rows and all the columns. Are they fine? Are there missing records? Are there values that seems to be off? For instance, if I'm extracting employee records, or since I'm extracting football data, if I see, oh, there's a match between Manchester United and Chelsea, and the goals, I'm seeing 90, Manchester United scored 90, Chelsea scored 2. By looking at it, I should have an idea, oh, this might be an anomaly. Okay, so how am I able to identify those kind of errors? So that is part of the job of the data engineer. By the time you clean all the data, which is what we deal with in transformation, Okay, so you can see some of the extracts from the code here. Um, Using pandas again to do cleaning. Pandas is one of the wonderful tools we use in data engineering. So you can see the transformation. I'm converting the date back into date time because the date, for instance, is in a text format. Okay, I'm converting the goals is also in text format. So you deal with types. So anything that is not in the right type, you convert it back to the type it's meant to be. Then the last part of the process is for you to load the data. In loading the data as a data engineer, you need to decide several things. What are the database you want to use? Apart from the database, you also have to also think of what would be my architectural design, table design, database design for my database. So we talk about things about entity relationship, diagrams, what will be the model for the database, but we do not have to go, stretch on those things. But those are just some of the things you begin to develop because you're thinking futuristically as a data engineer. Any data that you're loading, you want to look at it 2, 3 years from now. How will it be? Um, would there be things that will break it? Would there be things you need to improve on? Okay, so in this case, we have all our data that has been extracted. Then this is the table structure. We're using Postgres database on the database side of things to load the data. And this is the schema record for our tables. Okay, very quickly, um, we also now need to deal with future matches. Okay, so how we've dealt with loading historical data, meaning data from, say, for instance, we did this, I think, about 2 weeks ago. But after we've loaded those data, how do we also deal with football matches that will be, for instance, next week, 2 weeks' time? So we also need to now create what we call a pipeline. The pipeline would be the agent that will be checking for new records, okay, from the source, in this case, the website, and we'll be loading it to our database. So at any point in time, if your data analyst or your data scientist needs to do all the fancy graphs and all the fancy dashboards, they would always have data. So the work you have as a data engineer is always ensuring that there is data in the right format, data that is cleaned for use by your data scientist. So this is the database showing the records that we have extracted. So for instance,
Hello,
I can
hello.
see,
Sorry
oh,
to
okay.
can you
All right.
interrupt?
So yeah, I will just try and round up with this, meaning nobody will tell you it is, or if anybody tells you it would be easy, I think they will be lying to you. Okay, you have to put in the time, you have to put in the effort. There would be challenges even on any project that you're doing. For instance, on this particular project, we had issues with quality of the data. So, and we had to deal with those issues. We have issues with missing values, inconsistent formats. So, these challenges are what will improve you, sharpen the skills, and help you become a data engineer. And at Analytics, they have the right people to help you along all the challenges you may encounter in the project. So, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very, very, very much, Oni, for that awesome presentation. Right. A lot of persons are like, "Ah, what are they saying? What is ETL?" He has actually tried to break it down in a layman term, trying to explain the whole steps so that each and every one of us can understand, which I believe, even though you don't fully understand it, is totally fine, right? I know when he actually heard of this STEM, the very first STEM, he was as confused as you are. But look at him today. Imagine the way he's explaining and breaking down the whole steps like one professional. Okay, something that he learned under 3 months. I'm super proud of you, right? And I want to say thumbs up and kudos to you. So you said you joined in July, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what is that one amazing thing that you've picked throughout, this your 3 month journey, and what you've learned, something that you can help inspire these persons that are looking forward, to join, just like you.
Yeah, so I would say that for everyone who's intending to join, you must have the passion. Like it is something you want to commit yourself to, because you must be able to create time because of the way the program is. You have to be sure that everything you're being taught, you create time to practice. Okay, so if you do that, trust me, you'll be able to, you'll even be surprised, because at the beginning everything looks, wow, will I be able to do all of this? It's very interesting at the beginning, but when you start 1 week, you may get tired, but you need to constantly encourage yourself and motivate yourself and put in the time, and I'm sure you'll be, in no time, those intermediate skills will already be there.
All right, thank you very much. And I really appreciate your time. Thank you for those kind words. So guys, you've seen the three amazing persons that we brought up today just to, come and show you what they have actually done. So I know there are a lot of persons that are always in the part of, I am not sure I can do this thing. 3 months is really short, right? How can I, learn something in 3 months? Or how can I come from a zero background, right, into a knowledge of getting a job in a particular tech space? It is impossible. I know there are 100% of persons that still have that mindset, but I want to believe before you leave this session today, that mindset is going to change. Okay, I want to believe it has actually changed for real, right? I want to believe it has changed, because if these guys could do this thing in 3 months, trust me, you yourself, you can do it. Just as Oni actually said, with determination, you have to develop passion for what you want to do. At this point, you don't need anybody to push you. You will be the one to push yourself. You will be the one to motivate yourself. I know a lot of you might be saying, how do I even get started? What do I do? What path do I even pick? I'm really confused. I don't even know what data engineering is all about. I don't know what data science is all about, or I don't even know what data cybersecurity rather is all about. Don't worry, sit tight. In the next few minutes, we are going to walk you through that, and then you are going to understand everything you need to know, from how you can start to when the program starts for the next cohort, and every other information. Okay, so at this point, I am going to be handing over to my colleague to continue and handle the next session. Hello, Prince. Good evening. Good to have you on the call.
Good to be here.
All right, thank you. Please let me spotlight you, and you have the floor. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Just like my colleague has earlier introduced me, my name is Muideen Akoni. I'm a skilled data analyst with over some years experience in the data ecosystem. Okay, and tonight what we'll be doing is we'll be discussing. So you basically seen what the magicians, what they did in just 3 months, what they've been able to achieve in just 3 months from taking our program. Talking about Olubenga, which is was able to achieve all those things as a data science without having prior knowledge in just 3 months. And also talking about Salahuddin, where he was basically, you could see, if not like my colleague Ubonge had to just like, okay, slow down, don't lecture us on how to get these things done. So he was able to comfortably learn all these things and be able to say, comfortable enough to be able to say he can even teach you in 3 months, coming from somebody that don't even know how to go about all these things before 3 months. So you can imagine the quality of knowledge that we are able to impact on him at Tenalytics. So that is what we are comfortably able to do in that very short span of time. And trust me, in no time, you yourself, for the fact that you're here, you yourself will be able to find yourself just in that same position like Salahuddin, Olubenga, and Onibi, or whereby they are comfortable in their own field, and definitely from now, they'll be able to just secure that particular job that they're willing to get. Now, I know I will say this for free, that I know basically what Salahuddin was doing was like performing magic, performing miracles. But trust me, it is not. All right. It's not a miracle, it's not a magic. And you might be asking yourself, do I even have enough skill? Do I even think I'll be able to learn this thing? Do I even think I will be able to adapt and learn, know how to do all these things in that very short span of time? Don't worry, that is why we are here tonight. And even though I will not really be talking about all the programs that we do offer at Atlantis, but we key down on these three major programs that is being discussed tonight. And yes, we get to talk about the rest, but I'll tell you a little secret on what you can do to also actually be able to actually get into those other programs. But for tonight, we'll be looking at data science, data engineering, and cybersecurity. And I will also give you probably one extra, just in case, for those that are able to actually stay on this call and listen. Now, what I want you to do is my colleagues, from time to time, they'll be dropping a link in the chat box. So what you want to do is you want to fill those forms so that at the end of the session, you'll be able to, number one, get this recording, and also you'll be able to have access to this particular slide that I'll be using. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to make sure you fill those forms, and so they'll be able to have access to all the things that we'll be talking about tonight. So you might be asking me, okay, how do we really go from here? How exactly can I actually land or learn all these skills that is being discussed? How can I learn cybersecurity? How can I learn data engineering? How can I even learn data science without any prior knowledge and be able to learn and land a very high rewarding job? Simple. When it comes to us, it's simple because we've actually done all the jobs for you. And when we're talking about doing all the jobs, what we actually went ahead to do is we went ahead to scrape all the major job boards, okay? Talking about the major job boards in the whole world, talking about LinkedIn, the Indeed, Glassdoor, Total Jobs, CV Library. So we scraped everything. For those that might not really understand what scraping, that means we collected all the information on these job boards, all right? So we brought all of them and like, okay, we want to analyze this information based on three criteria. The number one thing is ease of learning. So we are looking at people that graduated from school a very long time ago and don't really have that time to say they want to settle down to learn anything. How can we look at jobs that are in demand and be able to teach these people and they'll be able to actually learn those things that they are looking to achieve? That was our first criteria, all right? Now, the second criteria is ease of transitioning. So in school, you probably did guidance and counseling, or you did linguistics, and you're looking to transition into tech. You don't even know how to go about it. How is guidance and counseling? How do I bring that into tech? How is linguistic? Am I going to be speaking language and English to these people? How do I transition into tech? That is our number two criteria. And trust me, which I believe majority, if you are interested in earning big money in tech, in the tech eco space, drop yes. I want to see yes in the chat box. If you know you want to really earn big money, like let me check my chat. If you know you want to really earn big money, I want to see a yes in the chat box. Okay. Correct, because trust me, if it's not about the money, what are we doing here? Everybody needs this money. So our third criteria is, okay, so we want a very high rewarding salary. So based on these three criteria, we're able to say, okay, the number one job that we were talking about is business analysis. All right. Then the second one is the Agile project manager and the Scrum Master. All right. The third one is the data analyst, the data scientist, the data engineer, which we've seen the magic that these guys have been able to perform in that regard. Then also the cybersecurity analyst, the financial analyst, and the HR analyst. Now, trust me, we are not going to discuss everything tonight, okay? But I will give you a bonus. If you know you want to have a clearer understanding about every other thing that we'll not be discussing tonight, the only way we can go about it is when my colleague dropped the link in the comment section, make sure you fill it. Then we'll be able to schedule another session, a one-on-one session, whereby either myself or any other Manila colleagues will schedule a session with you and be able to actually guide you in regards to how you'll be able to transition into this other path that we'll not be talking about tonight. So because we're not talking about them tonight, doesn't mean you are losing out. No, you're not. Okay. But tonight, we'll be talking about just those three of them with one extra bonus. That bonus, I'll not be saying it yet until later. All right. So after getting all these 8 major criteria, we went ahead like, okay, we've been able to get this. So how exactly are we going to validate the fact that if we teach all these programs at analytics, what is the guarantee that everybody taking it will have that security, that job security? What is going to make them not pick up this skill? Then after like a year, probably their department is closing down in the organization they're working for. So what we did is we went ahead to seek a validation. All right. And that's from the Future Job World Report 2024 that validates that all these programs, they are the future of the tech ecospace. All right. And this particular report also is available for you. You can either Google it, or once you get this slide, you can click on this click to view report here. You'll be able to download it and you have access to it, whereby you'll be able to actually read and actually understand all these jobs that we're talking about. So basically, if you're seeing my screen, if you look at the right-hand side here, now, between me and you, we don't want our profession or our job title to be on this right-hand side. Because according to the World Economic Forum, you are on the right-hand side, the demand for your job is declining. In the next few years, there will almost not be any request for that particular profession anymore. All right? So what you want to do, so if you are seeing yourself, you're presently like a general and operations manager. You are coming here, you're seeing yourself to be a training and development specialist. You're seeing to be a material engineer. All right. If you are seeing yourself in that spot, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you, as soon as possible, transition onto this left-hand side. And if your career is on this left-hand side, then we are in business. Then we are talking. Now, remember the 3 criteria that we based our analysis on. The first one, I'm hoping somebody in the comment section will type it before I mention it. I'm hoping somebody will type the 3 criteria before I mention it. So the first one is ease of learning. That means whatever you learn, you should be able to transition. Ease of you should be able to. Is anybody going to type it? Oh, okay. Site campaign. Don't worry, everything will be attended to. Let me give you ESPO. Ease of learning. Number 2, ease of transitioning, and a high rewarding salary. So based on those particular 3 is what we are looking at. And if you look at the first one in red, what you'll be seeing there is AI and machine learning. Meaning if your present job title, or you're presently working as an AI and a machine learning specialist, you are on the right path. Okay. Now also, if you are we'll not be really talking about the business analyst, because that basically goes under data analyst, and we're not really talking about that tonight. All right. And if you also find yourself to be a data analyst or a data scientist, then you're on the right path. Then if you look at the blue one, which is the cybersecurity, you see information and security analyst. All right. So if that is your job title, you are in good path. Now, all the jobs on this left-hand side, they are what you should be doing or what you should be learning. But remember, our criteria is ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and high rewarding salary. Now, you and I will both agree that as a blockchain developer, you will definitely get a high rewarding salary. But is it easy to learn? The answer is no. Is it easy to just transition from nowhere into being a blockchain developer? It is not possible, all right? So that is why we don't have it circled or probably offering here. So based on those three categories, that is where, and if you find yourself to be a big data specialist, then definitely you'll be in the category of only be your whereby you'll be building magics with your Python skills, building big things in your organization as a data engineer. All right. So it goes on and on like that. And like I said, I'll not really want to really bore you with so much other things that we'll not be talking about tonight. But there is an option for us to be able to discuss all these things with you. Now, if you look at this one in yellow, you have data engineer and cybersecurity. And the job title there is database and a network professionals. So everything that we're doing at Analytics is basically based on all these things. And definitely we are looking at, so if all these things are the jobs that you can learn and transition in 3 to 5 months, okay, that I agree. What is that salary that I'll be looking to get? Okay, what is that salary, that high rewarding salary that you guys are talking about? And I'll tell you this for free, okay? Now, we'll be looking at the data scientist. Now, in UK, as a professional with a skill of a data scientist, you'll be earning over £55,000 in a year, right? And in Canada, you find yourself earning close to 95,000 Canadian dollars in a year. While in the US, you'll be earning over 121,000 in a year. That is big money, if you ask me. All right, over something you can learn within the span of 3 to 5 months, and you're open to earning all this salary. That is big money, if you ask me. All right, and if you're looking at data engineer is £65,000. While in Canada you have you're earning 6 figures already as a data engineer. You find yourself in Canada. All right, so we'll be earning over 102,000 Canadian dollars, and while in the US market you are earning close to 150 because you have 134 here, which is like the average you'll be earning as a data engineer. Now, if you're looking at the cybersecurity, those are the security experts, you're looking at 57,000 straight up from average of 57,000 in the UK market. And the Canadian market, definitely, the US market, definitely, you're earning in 6 figures. All right. In the Canadian market, you're earning 140, and in the US market, you're earning 105. All right. So you might be looking like, oh, okay, all these things that you're talking about, you're just talking about ease of transitioning. How do you transition into this the tech space? You're just showing us money. How are we even certain that we can even get all these things? And this is not our first time of doing it. Like my colleague said, when she started, we've been able to transition over 2005. Now, when we say transition, that means people without prior knowledge of anything about data, people that don't know how to use Metasploit, all right? People that don't know anything about data analysis or learning Python, people that don't know anything about it, they've been able to take our program and we've been able to transition them into landing all these rules that we talked about, okay? And this is not like the first time we're talking about it. We have testimonials. For example, Ngozi here has no prior knowledge in what we talk about tech or whatever. No, she used to be a customer service agent in UK, and she took our business analysis program, right? When she took our business analysis program, she was able to complete the program and got herself a job, a fully remote job in UK in Huddersfield, all right? And if you look at Olalade here was also able to secure a PR with the data analyst skills that she was able to acquire from 10Analytics. Okay, so if you find yourself trying to transition, or you're looking at, oh, I'm in the process of migrating, now there's no better time to actually transition into tech than now. Okay, there's no better time to transition into that thing to actually get those skills than right now. Okay, if you look at Bukola here in her own case, she was able to finish our data science program also, and she was able to get a job in Poland. Now, we are not even talking about UK, Canada, or US. Cut across Europe also, she was able to get herself a job in Poland. All right. And the story, the testimonials goes on and on. Joy here was, if you're able to go through our YouTube page, you will see one of the videos whereby Joy did a video and coming back to actually guide people on how he was able to land a remote job as a data engineer. Okay, there are some of the other things that we do. I'll also tell you a good story about myself also, but we are not there yet. All right. So Joy here actually came back and was able to mentor students that are looking to secure remote job, and was able to do that session for them and guide them on how actually to land roles as a data engineer. Okay, those are some of the things that will offer in at 10Analytics. And the testimonials, they are endless. You can as well, once you have access to this link, to this slide, you can easily click on this link and you'll be able to watch any of these people. You'll be able to hear their story, to know actually how we're able to come into their life and help them from having zero skill to transitioning into tech, and how they are actually able to land their first role in the tech space. Okay. Now, also, if you look at Vivian here is like double. That's what I always say. So Vivian here in her own space, she was able to secure a job working remotely from UK as a data scientist. Okay. She's living in UK. She took the data science program, got a job remotely in UK. She was in UK, but the job was in France. And while on that job, she was able to secure herself a second job in UK as a business associate manager and a data analyst role in UK. All right. So when you have the skill, the demand will always come to you. Is when you are still struggling to actually learn all these things. Okay, for example, look at Salahuddin. When Salahuddin was breaking down all these things and trying to teach you how to actually do it, you will know firsthand that he actually knows what he's doing. And he's not limited to Salahuddin. You can see in two other guys that actually displayed what they've been able to learn in 3 months. And it doesn't actually end with those 3. It cut across every other person you can see over here, and the evidence is there that they're actually able to secure that role and get that job that they're actually looking to get. Okay. Now, like I was trying to say the other time. Now, also, I believe some of us here, some are in Canada, some are in UK, scattered all across the world. Some are based in Nigeria, and they be like, oh, I just want to actually land all these roles, because trust me, who wouldn't want to earn pounds, convert it to Naira, and spend Naira when you're earning in pounds? I believe, am I the only one that wants to do that? Am I the only one? Who else want to earn in USD, and who else want to earn in USD and in pounds and spend in Naira? Who are those that want to actually earn in USD and earn in and spend in Naira? So Itorobong said hi. Itorobong, I'm with you on that. So it's like both of us. It's like only me and you want to. Oh, Ereta joined us. So we have 3 now. Only the 3 of us want to earn pounds and convert to Naira and actually spend that money. So like Abigail here, Abigail used to work in a care system. Okay, but she was able to she took the business analysis program, coming from a care background. She took the business analysis program and she was able to secure a job with the Alberta government. Now, That one intriguing thing about the particular role is she didn't just land the role anyhow. She actually landed a senior role, and she has 3 people reporting to her, coming from a care background, from a care worker. All right, because the thing that she will learn, the skills that will impact into her, will be able to place her in that role and be able to be functional in those particular roles. Now, if you look at Tonya was actually a pharmacist. All right, she is a pharmacist in Nigeria. Okay, and after completing the program, she was actually able to get a job with NHS, and that job came with full visa sponsorship. Okay, so the journey is endless. Ramat here, our own case is even special. Ramat used to be she was able to land a role, and our role also came with full sponsorship without even her working. Like, when you have to stress to actually get something, that was not the case with Ramat. All right, and like I was saying, like, it was only 3 people that wanted to earn in pounds. So me myself, I actually took the analytics program. All right, when I took the analytics program years back, I was able to secure. I landed my role just after 2 months after my program. And the company that it is actually here. This is me here. So the company is a UK-based company. I'm in Nigeria, all right? But trust me, when the work comes, it doesn't work. It doesn't come like you're working for. There's no difference. What I would do for a company in Nigeria is the same thing I would do for a company that I'm doing for the company in UK. But trust me, when the salary comes, it is not in Naira. I don't have anybody throwing $1 million Naira to my face and say, take, that's your salary, and they want to enslave me to death. No. When the pounds come, me and you both know what exchange rate is talking about now. So when the money comes, you feel the worth of your skill. You feel the worth of you being a human being. That is what Stenalytics will impart in you. Okay. So if you're that type of person that be like, I'm not really forced about relocating, I just want to get good value for myself and for my family, or I just want to actually have that skill to be able to land these roles. Yes, now you should be talking about actually getting this role. Abdurrashid here also took the data science program just like Olubenga, and in his own case, he landed a role, a full-time, fully remote role with Chow 420, excuse me, and is working fully remotely. He's based in Abuja. He's working fully remotely as a data scientist. Okay, so it's not really about you have to be in UK or you have to be in Canada or Europe before you're able to actually get value from Tenalytics. No, they spread quite across everywhere. And those in Nigeria also stand a lot to gain from learning any of these skills that we're talking about. All right. So now that we're talking about the skills, once again, I won't really want to really bore you with all the testimonials. I just told you that I was going to tell you a little bit secret about myself. So here it is. Now, if you now be looking like, okay, all right, so how exactly can you know which one to take? There's data science, there's data engineering. These guys are just showing what they did. They're not really telling you, okay, what are the things I want to do? How am I able to actually do all these things? How am I able to do them? Like, okay, like I said, look, Itoro said, I really love to get a remote job. Trust me, I'm in that bus with you, all right? I'm in that bus with you, all right? So, okay, how exactly do I take those? Which one do I go for? I don't really know how to navigate the career path. And that's what I'll be doing I'll be explaining everything to you. So what I would do is, like I said I was going to explain the data science, the data engineering, and the cybersecurity. So, and the one bonus. So what that one bonus that I'll be talking to you about is the data analyst. Now, if you ask me, who exactly is a data analyst? And the data analyst in this sense is, they are those people, they are those champions that basically come into an organization to solve problems. Okay. So, and a very good example of that is when you have a company A. So for company A, the first quarter of a month, they said that their revenue is $100 million. All right. The second quarter, their revenue is 150. The first quarter is $10 million. The second quarter is $15 million. And they found out that the third quarter, they now have $8 million. So as a data analyst, you want to come into that picture and solve problem. You want to ask the first question, what happened? All right. You want to ask that first question, what happened and why did it happen? Those are the basic things that a data analyst will come into an organization to solve for that company, for them to be able to actually get whatever they're looking to achieve. And the first thing to do, the first step to take before you even approach all these things is when you want to take, you'll be learning problem solving. All right. You understand the CRIPS DM approach on how to solve problem. Okay. And after taking that step to ask the critical questions, to know the critical questions to ask, then you go into learning Excel. So some of you, you'll be like, oh, okay, I know Excel. But trust me, you'll be taking from A in Excel, that's how to basically import all your CSV files, how you import sheet and all those things into your Excel workbook. Then they will take you in how you use your conditional formatting. Then they take you on how you basically use pivot table. You do your VLOOKUP, your XLOOKUP, you do your index and match, you learn all those things. Then you go into pivot table. Then you go to the advanced level of knowing how to build a dashboard in Excel. All right. Many people still don't know they do all those things in Excel, but trust me, they do. All right. And after all these things, you'll be learning SQL, which is structured query language. Now, basically, that is the language of the database. So when we're talking about company A that has 10 million revenue, 15 million revenue, and 8 million revenue, you actually want to have access to those data. All right. And the way you have access to the data is actually to be able to fetch them from the database where it's being stored. All right. So you'll be learning SQL in that regard to know actually fetch those information from the database. Then you also be learning Power BI. So learn Power BI and Tableau. Basically, both of them are business intelligence tools. But what we found out at Analytics is some companies actually prioritize Power BI, while some prefer Tableau. So instead of you saying, I want either, we match both to you and you'll be able to learn both so that you'll be able to have that much talent in your basket. Now, you remember when I mentioned that particular company A is having revenue this and revenue that, and they're trying to solve that problem. Now, when you actually solve this problem using an analytical approach, you need to learn how to communicate all this information because the people that will be giving you this job, they don't understand the technical terms. So you will learn data storytelling, which will basically equip you on how you'll be able to explain all these technical terms to non-technical teams, to the non-technical board or the board of directors in simple terms that they'll be able to understand. Then you also learn ChatGPT for analytics. Then you also learn Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. All right. Now, that is what a data analyst will do. Now, migrating to a data scientist. Now, a data scientist will now take it a step up the ladder. And what I mean by that is after solving for what happened, why did it happen, a data science will now take it a step further in answering what will happen, which we call predictive analysis. All right. So when we're talking about being able to predict the future, they are just like the way data scientists. So if you see Olubenga, just know that you see all this herbalists that they will do something, they'll put it on the floor, they'll be able to tell you, oh, this is what is going to happen. That is exactly who Olubenga is in the data world. All right. So he's able to use his skill to be able to predict the future in the data ecosystem. All right. And how he goes about this is number one, you'll be learning statistics for analysis. All right. Then he will go ahead aligning forecasting and predictive analytics using Microsoft Excel. Okay. Then you also go about learning Tableau. Like I said, Tableau is basically a business intelligence tool to be able to visualize and communicate insights to board holders and non-technical teams and even technical teams for them to understand, for them to have a visual representation of what actually you are talking about. All right. Then you also be learning structured query language, just the same way a data analyst will be learning SQL. Then you'll go ahead to learn Python programming, whereby you'll be able to use those things. That is the basic tool you'll be using to be able to run his regression analysis, to be able to identify some key things that normal people will not be able to identify. Also, be using that for to build his machine learning model. Then also we'll be using that for the exploratory data analysis. Then after all these things, you'll be building what we call computer vision. Now, a good example of computer vision is right now behind me, there's a lot of activity going on behind me. But this particular camera on my laptop has been programmed to see just only me. That is a good example of computer vision. Okay, so you'll be learning how to give your computer an eyes to be able to see a particular thing that you want it to see. So you'll be learning how to do all those things. Then you also be learning GitHub, then GitHub Copilot. Then you also be learning Microsoft Fabric for analysis. Now that is who a data analyst is, and also a data scientist. Now, when it comes to data engineering, they are totally different. In the data ecosystem, they are totally different. And a very good example, which I always love to give people, is a very good example of who a data engineer is a plumber in a building when you are building a house. So the plumber is basically responsible to channel water from whatever reservoir to make it run the pipelines and make it available for you in the bedroom. When you need water in the bedroom, when you open your shower, you want water to come out. When you're in the kitchen, when you open the tap, you want water to come out. That is exactly who a data engineer is, all right? And learning how to become that, you'll be learning basic introduction to data engineering, all right? You also be learning SQL, but as against data analysts and data scientists, where they will learn how to use SQL to fetch information, fetch data from the database, you as a data engineer, you'll be learning how to use SQL to store data in the database. All right. Now, another thing you'll be learning is you'll be learning Python programming, which you basically use to build every other thing you'll be building. Now, the way you'll be learning Python programming is more similar to that way you'll be learning as a software developer, because you'll be using that to build pipelines and every other thing that you need to build to be able to deliver your data to wherever you need it to be available. All right. You also be learning Linux operating system. Then you will learn, by the time you learn web scraping and all those things and make your data, you scrape your data, you store it in a database, you now want to automate the process whereby when a data analyst or a data scientist, when they need a particular data, you don't have to be physically present before they will have access to that data. And that is where Apache Spark and Apache Flow comes in, which basically means you automate the process of your pipeline and data delivery, all right? And after all this, you'll be learning cloud engineering, all right? We'll be learning the three major cloud, which is the Google Cloud Platform, which is the GCP. You'll be learning Microsoft Azure, and you'll be learning Amazon AWS, all right? You'll be learning the whole three major cloud platform. And when you're done with that, you'll learn GitHub version control. Then you also be learning ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot. Now, the data, like, we are not really meant to talk about this, but it's a bonus for everybody on call. So the data analyst program and the data science program, both of them are 4 months program. Okay, you have 3 months in class and you have 1 month internship. But for the data engineering, that particular program is 5 months. So you'll be 3 months in class and you have 2 months internship where you'll be able to own your skills and be perfect learning everything that you've been taught. All right. Now, that being said, now we're going to the cybersecurity, which basically I call them the protector of our digital assets, and basically they protect all the digital assets in the company. And when we are talking about protecting the digital assets in a company, just like Salahuddin, you'll be learning basic introduction to cybersecurity. So this does not necessarily mean that you have to have this particular skill. All you need is that passion to want to learn it. Once you have that, you'll be able to, so it's basically beginners friendly. So you don't need any form of, oh, I need to have this certification, I need to have this before you're able to start the program. No, you don't need that. It's only, so the basic introduction, you'll be learning basic introduction to cybersecurity. You also be learning introduction to computing and foundation, whereby you learn the basic LAN, you learn the WAN, the wide area network, you'll be learning IP subnetting, you'll be learning all those basic things in networking. Then you also be learning you will learn the CIA triads, which is the confidentiality, the integrity, and the availability of data. All right. Then you also be learning the offensive and the defensive in cybersecurity, whereby you learn how to defend or how to attack in cybersecurity using tools like Metasploit. All right. Everything might not really seem like it's something that you're understanding, but trust me, just like Salahuddin was able to do all those things that he did in 3 months, all these things you will be able to do in 3 months without really bugging, without really saying you want to overkill yourself, right? You also be learning Wireshark, because there was a time where you saw that Salahuddin was actually analyzing the network to understand the traffic and have a better understanding. So we'll be learning Wireshark for your network analysis and have a clearer understanding of what is going on. Why is there a spike in this particular place? What is happening? So you'll be able to have all those critical approach in knowledge and in application. All right, you will have all those critical approach in all those things that we're talking about. You also learn endpoint security using Metasploit. Then you also learn cloud security also. All right, this particular program also is a 4 months program where you have 3 months in class, then you have 1 month internship. Now you might be asking me, okay, as a data scientist, am I going to only apply to jobs as a data science? That is not right. As a data engineer, am I only applying to job as a data engineer? No, it's not right. So basically you have, as a data scientist, you will be able to apply to all the roles that a data analyst is able to apply to. Okay. So as a data scientist, you can apply to those roles, then you can take it up the notch to applying to roles meant for data science. So when you search online and you see this role is a data scientist needed in clinical, you will be able to actually apply to those particular role, right? Then you also be able to apply to machine learning engineer, because you will learn how to actually build and test your models. You will be able to learn all those things, and you'll be able to apply to roles or companies that basically need machine learning experts. All right. You also be able to apply to roles like forecasting analyst, demand planning, big data analyst, and so on. All right. And as a data engineer, you also can apply to, now, we're teaching, you'll be learning the 3 major clouds. So you learning that if you come across a particular company and they say they only have job opening for a GCP cloud engineer, you have it. They have this company that don't even use GCP, they're using Microsoft Azure. You have that skill because you actually have it. So you can apply to any of the 3 cloud platforms as a cloud engineer. Then you can go ahead to even apply to roles like ETL developers, whereby they basically need a skilled data engineer to basically just build pipelines for them. You will have that skill and you'll be able to apply to those roles as a data engineer, as an ETL developer. All right. Then also you can apply to roles like a big data engineer and data migration specialist. All right. Now, as a cybersecurity analyst, you'll be able to apply to roles at SOC as like a SOC analyst. You'll also be able to apply to network security engineer, because just like Salahuddin was breaking it down, you will have this critical knowledge and how to become that much professional in that field. Okay. Then you also be able to apply to roles for a security threat analyst. All right. And after learning all these things, after learning all these technical etc that you see, oh, okay, so I have these technical skills. Okay, what next? That is where we're coming. So everything that you're learning, everything that will be teaching you, that is only 50% of what we offer at Analytics. Now we have something we call employability skills. Now, what an employability skill is means that after learning all these technical things that you've seen Salahuddin show you, that you've seen Onibiyo show you, that you've seen Olubenga show you, that is just the technical part. Now there's something we call the employability skill, which is basically making you job ready, making you know what to actually do, how to actually go about it. And the first thing we do about that is we have what we call a CV review session. So the CV review session basically means that what we found out is you see people applying to jobs, people that have skills, you see them applying to jobs, and they're applying to 20 jobs with just one CV, which is very wrong. So what you want to actually do is, if you're applying to 20 jobs, you want to apply with 20 CVs. How do you go about it? That is what that session is about. So that session will basically train you, teach you on how you tailor your CV to each job, so that your CV, number one, will be able to beat the applicant tracking system, which is the ATS, and also your CV will be able to beat the 6 seconds rule, where recruiters just have to view your CV to know if that CV is what they need or what they don't need. So you basically be taught on how to basically do all those things. Then there was a time that all you have to do is just see a role online, see a job posting online, apply to that role, and that is it. Right now, majority of HR or people hiring or top management in companies, they go beyond just posting jobs or telling HR to post particular jobs in their opening. They go ahead. A lot of companies have hired by just going through the LinkedIn profile. So if you're a professional and you don't have a LinkedIn profile, you are wrong. But trust me, that is one of the reasons why you're here. So even if you don't have a LinkedIn profile at all, you have a session, you have a professional that will basically guide you on how to set up your LinkedIn profile and how to make it stand out. So basically, let's say I'm looking for a data analyst, or I'm looking for a cybersecurity analyst that has skill in cyber threat intelligence. So what I will basically do is I'll use a particular keyword. It's called Boolean search. I will put that, I will search for a cybersecurity analyst with skills in cyber threat intelligence. Once I search that, every result that is going to come to me on LinkedIn is basically going to be people that have discussed, that have talked, that have posted related content to that particular thing. And if I'm the one hiring, I basically look at them, see what they have to offer, and I'll send them a message. Once I send them a message, we'll have a conversation. And if I'm good with them, I will hire them. That is basically what a lot of hiring companies are doing now. This is a secret. I'm just letting you out. I'm just letting out of the bag for people on this call. And there's more to come, right? So we also have what we call the job navigating system. So basically, what we found out is a lot of people don't even know how to navigate the job market. You don't know the jobs you want to apply to. Like Doro Monk said the other time that she's very open to getting only remote jobs. Now, do you know where to apply to them? Do you know the companies that actually will be able to employ you if you are abroad? Many companies in US, they are not structured in a way that they can employ people from outside, but many people don't know. Those are some of the things that you'll be learning and how to actually apply to those things. And some other things, like we also getting companies that offer all these services and putting it into something what we call the learning management system, which you only have access to when you sign up for the program, okay? Now, we also have what we call the interview prep session. When you actually now land the job, you want to prepare yourself for the interview. You want to give your best to whoever that is hiring you, so you'll be able to actually get this job. So what we do is we have skilled professionals in that field that you're looking to get a job and prepare you for that particular interview that you're looking to achieve, right? So if you're looking to go into the interview, you go onto your learning management system, then book that you want to schedule an interview prep, and you have a professional in that particular field set up a one-on-one meeting with you and prep you for that particular meeting, for that particular interview that you're looking to go for. And when you now get a job, one of the things that I don't know, when I was showing the review slide the other time, you will saw where a particular lady was saying that she got a PR because she got a reference letter from us. Okay, so job referencing is what we actually do and we do give you, so that when you get the job, we're able to actually offer you that. When you get the offer, we give you that job referencing so that you'll be able to land the job. And when you now land the job, for example, you apply to a cybersecurity threat analyst. You're now called to analyze a particular threat that's been triggered on your network, and you don't really know how to go about it. So what we do is we provide on-job support, where you have a skilled professional come on board and be able to guide you on how to actually analyze that particular threat, on how to actually get that particular job done. This is not while you are in training. This is after your training and you already have the job. So everything we are offering is not limited, it's not caged to while you are training. No, it is even after the training. When you get the job, you don't really know how to go about it. You can schedule for a professional to come on board and actually help you get that thing achieved and guide you on how to actually solve similar problems in future. Now, what we also offer is what we call the weekly mentorship program, where we have professionals like the founder of Tenalytics, Daisy Suleiman, and the co-founder, Efimena Ipro, and other prominent people in the tech ecosystem come and actually guide you and give you mentorship on things, how you should approach things, how you should do things, so that you'll be able to actually get this particular thing, get this particular job that you're looking to actually get. Now, what we also see is we see that some companies, some people rather, they even don't really bother about getting all these jobs. All they just want is they want to get contract jobs, set up contract jobs, get contract jobs, fulfill it, get paid in whatever currency that they're working for, and go their way. Whenever they're bored of something again, they go about applying for contract jobs and they actually get it. So what we do is we set up a session on how you can actually set up your Upwork profile and optimize it so that people offering contract jobs will see you and be able to offer all these contracts to you. You take it and be able to offer your value and services. Okay. Now you might be thinking, how exactly do I go about this? Okay, I have all this knowledge now. You offer 50% technical and you offer 50% employability. What is my first step? So the first step you should be looking at is you need to, number one, identify your desire. Which one do you really think you want to go for? The four that we talked about now, we talked about data analyst, we talked about data scientist, and we talked about data engineer. Then the last one, cybersecurity. So out of these four and everything that I've explained, which one really tickle my fancy? Okay. So if I ask in the question section, which one do you really think you really want to go for? Which one do you think is sounding like, oh, I want to really do this thing. I really want to do this thing. This one is seeming like something I really want to do. If in the comment section, I want to see which one do you think is something you want to do. Cybersecurity. Larry said cybersecurity. That's awesome. So the first thing you need to do, the first thing you hold yourself is you want to identify the one you want to do first. So when you identify the one you want to do, the way you learn is, we call it blended learning. So what we mean by blended learning is you have a self-paced class and you have a live instructor-led class. And that live instructor-led class means that a class like this that me and you are having, whereby I'll be showing you and teaching you how to actually get these things done, right? That is what we call like a live instructor-led class, and every other thing that we do is every session you have, every session is actually recorded and you have a lifetime access to it. All right. So it's not like which I'm basically going to break down further in when we're talking about it. Okay, Kehinde said business analysis. Business analysis is not something we discuss here right now, but if you really want me to break this down for you, what I advise you to do, Kehinde Ayekwe, is make sure you fill the form that my colleagues drop in the comment section. Then we'll be able to set up a personal one-on-one whereby I'll be able to actually break it down. First off, what I will do is we're able to actually understand, either myself or any of my other colleagues will actually understand where you're coming from. So in a scenario whereby you don't even have that clarity of what you want to do, so we break your career path and your educational background, we'll break it down, and we'll be able to fit that into the best one that will be okay for you. So if you're not Kehinde Ayepe and you feel you actually need this thing, fill that character session. You've been part of this. Fill that character session, fill that form. So you'll be able to schedule that one-on-one. And trust me, either myself, any of my colleague will be there for you and will be able to give you that clarity that you want. But if, like Larry said, cybersecurity, which is part of what we're discussing tonight, trust me, is okay. All right. So another thing that we'll also be learning is considering when you actually learn all these things that you learn, everything is project based. So you don't come to class and you have your instructor telling you what is cybersecurity. No. They will base everything you'll be doing is actually project based. So just the same way that you see Olubenga doing is building, showing you what he has built. Those are the ways that you will learn. Just the same way you see Salahuddin trying to teach you on how to do some things, those are the approach that you will use, that you will take to learn on this. So everything you have been learning, they are basically based on projects. So for example, you saw where Salahuddin was entering a wrong password and is being triggered at the back end. So if that particular project that was the problem or that was the challenges that particular company is facing, all right, you will be tasked with that project to be able to solve that problem for that particular company. So everything you're doing, they are all real life problems that companies are facing. Now we now bring it, change some key information for data privacy, so you'll not be able to tie any particular data to a particular company. Then we'll have you solve it in your class. Now, when you solve it, we spread it across different industry, different sectors. So by the time you are done with your program, you will have that hands-on skills to approach any industry with the things that you've learned, and you'll be able to showcase your project. Like, this is the things I have done in this particular industry. This is the things I've done. So if you, for example, now, if you're applying to a bank, you'll be able to show something that you've done in that sector, right? You won't just be coming and be showing them your CV. You will show a project, more than one, that you've done in that particular sector. And trust me, when they see what you've done, they'll be like, oh, okay, so this person actually have the talent, can actually practice what they're saying, and they have proof. If I was a hiring manager, I saw somebody that has the talent, that has the technical skill, that knows how to speak, that when I was speaking with the person was exuding confidence, and the person has a project to show as skill, as proof of skills. Trust me, the person has made my job easy. I will only set up the terms and conditions, and I'll find a way to just wrap up that hiring process and hire that person, because the person is already finished market for me. The person is ready. The person is job ready. That is what will make you do. That is what will put you through by joining the program at Analytics. All right. And you have, when I was talking about being able to speak, that is when you gain your employability skills. All right. And after all these things, you'll be able to actually network with your other colleagues and other professionals in the industry you find yourself. And you also get given mentorship while you are in that part. So it's not like when you take the program, your 4 months or 5 months is done and that is it. No, you have that mentorship guide to be able to guide you, because we are just transitioning. We don't expect you to be master. That is why we are providing the job to you. That's why we are providing the mentorship to you, so that even when you get tired on your way, we'll be able to show you people that got tired but didn't stop. And this is the result. All right. And trust me, we are all humans. When we see people achieving things that we want, definitely we know we can only achieve this thing, and the only thing that can stop us is us. So we help you, guide you to be able to actually land that first role. And like I explained in the employability session, in the employability skill you'll be learning is compact. All right. So when we are talking about all these things, Those things are some of the things that you will be learning. And trust me, we have success stories. We have success stories. And what I will not do is I won't want to really bore you with so much stories and telling you, oh, this is what it is, this is what it is. But trust me, if you fill the form in the comment section that my colleagues are dropping, this slide, you will have access to it. And all the videos here, you'll be able to watch it. Like Olugbemi here, Olugbemi took the program, immediately he relocated to Canada, all right? Immediately relocated to Canada, he took the program as in business analysis. He got a job, he took the data in data analysis. He got a job as a business data analyst, and in no time, he was able to land another job within a year. And the job he got was like ×2 of what he was earning before. The first job he immediately got to Canada after taking the program was ×10 of what he was earning in Nigeria as a senior banker in Nigeria. So if you're a senior banker in Nigeria, you go to Canada, you got your first job as a business data analyst. The first job you are getting, the salary is ×10 of what you are getting in Nigeria. Now, the second job you are getting in Canada after a year is ×2 of your previous role. Trust me. Do you know the level of comfort that comes with that? And all it took is just the desire to know this is what I want to learn. Like Larry said, cybersecurity. All right? Cybersecurity is what I want to do. Once you have that direction, once you have that demand, like this is what I want to do, all right? You'll be able to actually achieve these things just the same way every other person on this slide have been able to achieve it, all right? And you'll be able to have access to all these things just the same way if you're able to fill the form. Now, the next class that we'll be having, today is 26th of November. Our next class starts by December 7th, all right? The next cohort starts by December 7th. And the only way you'll be able to join this cohort is if you are able to secure your spot before that time. And what I will basically do is I will make sure that what I will do is everybody on this call, all right, you fill the form before you're able to get here. What I'll make sure I'll do is I will make sure that there is discount open for the first 20 people to register for a particular course. All right. So if you're registering for cybersecurity, that is 1. If you are registering for data engineering, that is 2. So the first 20 to register for the program, I'll be giving you 20% discount. All right. And why I said so is our program presently goes for $750. All right. So the program, anyone you want to take, the data science, the data engineering, the cybersecurity, if you're taking any of them, the cost is $750. But for the first 20 people that are able to register, I'll be giving you 20% discount, which is you'll be paying, instead of paying $750, you'll be paying just $600. Okay? You'll be paying just $600. And when you're able to pay the $600, by the time my colleagues also will be sharing the payment link, which is this one, they'll be shared in the comment section. So when you click on that link, it will basically take you to our main stack page. Now, let's say you are in UK and you want to make payment. You want to make payment for cybersecurity. So when you want to make payment for cybersecurity, you will see that on your right-hand side, it will be showing the amount of money you want to pay in pounds. All right. And is it that you pay the 625, or you pay half of it, or you pay like I think 166. All right. And that is totally equivalent to $200. And what that means is, so instead of you paying the $600 at once, you can pay it either once, you can pay it either twice, or you can pay it 3 times. Okay, so now let's say you select to pay 3 times. That is going to be 200, 200, 200. Now, if you're making payments tonight, it will tell you, if you click on that 3 times, it will see an option whereby it will tell you that you have the option to pay. Your first payment is due today, which is the 26th of November. Your second payment is due next month, which is 26th of December. The first one is 26th of November. The second one is 26th of December. and your last payment is 26th of January. Now, I'll tell you a secret. Now, what I want you to do is immediately you pay the first 200. That is you securing your discount. So let's say you want to register for cybersecurity and you want to pay the first 200. So you'll be able to secure the spot for the first 20 to register. Once you pay the first 200, that is you securing your spot. Okay. And by next month, you pay the following 200. By January, you pay the following, the last 200. Okay. And remember, this slot is only available for the first 20 people on this call that make payment. All right. Now, what I'll also be doing is like I said, this is not our first rodeo. We have achievements, loads of them into our name, and it just does not stop there. We've been able to actually help people just like you on this call, just like me sitting here, because you actually saw my my profile, just like me sitting here. They'll be able to actually to land jobs in companies that you never expected I'll be able to land job. Because when I actually land my particular first role and I saw the team of people that I'm working with, I will not really sit here and be telling you the things that I do at my workplace, but trust me, this is something I could never achieve if I'm working in Nigeria. It is something I will never achieve. All right. If I mention the people, some of the company CEOs that I'm in meetings with, that I'm analyzing their data, discussing, asking them direct questions, if not for Tenalytics, I would never be able to say, okay, how am I going to even get that skill that will qualify me to be in the same meeting with this kind of people? All right. Trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. And it does not really stop there. A whole lot of other people have done it, and they have track record working in top companies. All right. People that have taken the programs, they have the possibility of working in one of the top companies in the world. And the only reason why that is possible is because we are able to impart the in-demand skills that they need to be able to land all this role. And that is not really like, okay, that is it. We also have a lot of publications, features that showcase our good work in the faith of helping Africans transition into the tech ecospace. We've been published by Business Day, okay, showcasing, telling people, showing how Tenalytics have been able to help Africans transition into. So all these articles are basically available to you, and you can have access to them without really by just filling the form. Now over here, this was our last hackathon that we did. I think it's more like a law for everybody on this call. We have another hackathon coming up in few days, actually on the 30th. So it's something, if you're interested also, not really to participate, just to have a feel of what we call hackathon. Now, the last one was 1,000. This year, this price is doubled. So for those that will be participating, the money is doubled. And if you check online, if you just Google Tenalytics hackathon, you'll be able to have more informed knowledge about what you're talking about. So like I said, we have tons and tons of testimonials. Over here, Wesley over here, her story was actually very interesting because she was somebody that is by default very occupied with the small job that she's doing. But she was able in that very tight schedule to carve out time to be able to take one of our programs, to take the data analyst program. All right. She took the program and she was able to secure a job at Shell UK as a sales analyst. All right. We are not talking about data analysts tonight. All right. We are not talking about them tonight. So if you want to be a data analyst, sorry that we are not talking about your profession, your choice of profession tonight. Can you fill the form? And trust me, myself, all my colleagues will be there to actually talk about data analysis, the business analysis, or probably you're an accountant and you're looking to transition, which presently as an accountant also, you should be careful because the other time that I was showing you future job report, being an accountant is going to get is declining And if you're an accountant and you're on this call, you will be able to agree with me that the demand for accountants, just an accountant, is declining. What you want to do is you want to migrate into financial analysis, but that is not a topic for tonight. Schedule a call and we'll be able to discuss this further. And remember, when we're talking about testimonials, people that we've been able to help, we have a whole lot of them, that have been able to land a role either in data science, data engineering, or cybersecurity without prior knowledge in the tech ecospace. And whatever they'll be doing, they'll perform wonders like Olubenga, like Salahuddin and Onibiyo. They will perform magic that will be like, how is this even possible? How are they able to do this? They are able to do this because they took the program and we are able to guide them to get those jobs that they want. There's a lot of testimonials, and if I start scrolling, it's a whole lot, and I would not really want to bore you with playing or reading through all these things. But trust me, there's a whole lot. What you want to do, like I said earlier, is you don't want to miss out on the discount. All right. Try as much as possible to secure your discount, to secure your spots by paying the first 200. Now, if you are in Canada, and because I saw some people in Canada, if you're in Canada, you'll be paying 900 Canadian dollars. All right. So for you to make your first payment, your first part payment is going to be 300 Canadian dollars. So immediately you're able to pay the first 300. That is you securing your spot to make sure that you're able to key into that discount. And end of the year rush, probably maybe the spots, we fill out the spots, and you're unable to actually secure the spots. That will not really be your thing because you've actually been able to secure your spot. Okay, so that is about it. And I will be reading through the comment section to see if I have any question. So I'll just basically answer very few questions. Then I'll answer very few questions. Then from there, we'll call it a night. So I won't really want to hold you so long for it. Does anybody on the call have questions for me? Kendi, I know Kendi, you mentioned that you want business analysis. So try to, okay, she said the form is not functional. All right. I trust my team are working on that and they'll be able to, so they shared another link after that. Kindly do check that list, check that link and fill the form. I'm sure it must have been fixed. All right. The cybersecurity data engineering caught my attention, but I'm still contemplating. All right. So the cybersecurity, Theophilus, the cybersecurity and the data engineering, yes, they can be, depends on what you're actually looking at, which I said the other time, like you need to actually know what you want. Now, if you don't know, kindly do fill the form, book a session, and we'll be able to break both of them down based on the type of person that you are. Okay. We will analyze the type of person that you are, break everything down. Then after the whole session, you'll be able to know that, okay, this is what I want. This is the one I want to register for, or that is the one I want to register for. All right. But before we're able to do that, you really want to fill the form and we'll go from there. I can see there are a lot of data analysts on this call. All right. So you guys are in luck. You're in luck that I actually mentioned it. Sergi and Dennis. Dennis said I should start with data analyst. Okay. All right. All right. Suganani said I already signed up for data science. So if Suganani already signed up for data science, that is verbally -1, meaning 19. And that is about people that mentioned it. Some more people don't mention it. And trust me, once the discount is out, as you can see, it's just for the first 20 people. Okay. It's just for the first 20 people. Okay. All right. So also let me see if I'll be able to it's just for the first 20 people. So you might, if you have any question, you might want to drop in the comment section. Let me go through the question and see if I have any. So just try fill the form, and you can always book a session. Then also remember, try as much as possible to secure your spot before the discount runs out. Because once the discount runs out, you will not. How do we know? How do we know the course is recognized? Are you able to restructure your question? So how do you mean by the course is recognized? So what is the validating terms in recognized? How do you recognize it? Is it like you want to do the course to be able to do something, or you want to use it to get a job? Are you able to restructure your question, Kogiso? Okay, Dennis, my colleague just dropped the link in the chat, or she will drop the link in the chat, so you can go through the link. Okay, but wow, let me also try go through the link to see if I'll be able to walk you through the payment. So what you want to do is my colleagues, they will drop that payment link in the chat. Okay, so once they drop the payment link in the chat, you want to click on the link, and it will bring you directly to this Tenalytics enrollment center. Okay, so once it brings you to the Tenalytics enrollment center, you want to scroll down, like you can see, is the special offer is just 20% and is based on first come first serve. Right, so what you want to do is you come down, and let's say you want to register for data analyst, business analysis, data engineering like we're talking about, or the full stack data science, or the cybersecurity. Let's just pick cybersecurity, for example. So if you want to register for cybersecurity, you scroll down, then you click register for CS. So when you click on register for CS, it will show you, it will open in another tab, then it will show you the breakdown of what you are looking to register for. If you are looking to register for any of the other programs also, the same way I'm doing this is the same way you'll be doing that. So just for example, you want to register for data analysis, scroll down and click on register for DA. So once you click on register for DA, the currency will basically show in regards to your location. So just like me, I'm in Nigeria, or if you're in UK, if you're in US, if you're in Canada, it will show your money, the amount in the currency that you spend. So for example, this is in US, so this is 600, all right? So if you click on, this is a one-time payment, meaning once you click on one-time payment, you pay the 0600 and you're good to go. But if you are the type that want to split it into two, okay, you can easily pay 300 now, 300 later. But if you want to actually pay 200, right, and pay 3 times, that will be 3 times monthly. You click on it, you see, once I click on it, it highlighted like 3 times. If I want to select 2 times, if I click on 2 times, it's going to show. And if it's a one time that I want to do, you just click on one time and it will show. So let's say we are selecting 3 times, all right? Once you click on that, you click on
Hello, Prince. Please, can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you.
Okay, please. We are not seeing the main stack screen you're sharing. You're still on the presentation slide.
Oh,
Yeah.
apologies about that. I think I need to stop sharing, then reshare, so you people will be able to. Let me stop. Please let me know you can see the main stack page.
Yes, you can see it now. Thank you.
Okay. So like let me see this. Can you see the enrollment center?
Yes, please, we can say it.
Okay, so let me just start from beginning. So my colleagues, I'm sure they must have dropped the link in the chat. So what you want to do is you want to click on that particular link. It will bring you to the enrollment center, all right? So once they bring you to the enrollment center, like you can see, is 20% discount, the early bird discount, which is the cost is already 750, but it's being discounted to 600. So what you want to do is you want to scroll down, then select the course that you want to register for. If you are registering for data analytics, scroll down and you see register for DA. Okay. If you're looking at business analysis, click on register for BA. But also data engineering, click on register for DE. Or if it's data science that you're looking to register for, click on register for full stack data science. Okay. So once you click on that, today we're using cybersecurity as an example. So I click on register for CS. Then once you click on register for CS, it will open up, then show you how you want to register for CS. Okay. Now, if you can see here, it shows basically the payment option, which is the one-time payment, which is 600. So if you click on one time, if you want to just pay one time and go with it, you click on one time, it will highlight it for you. Then you click on proceed. But if you want to pay 2 times, like 300, click on 300, click on two monthly payments. Then you go from there. Let's say you want to pay 3 times. Okay. Click on 200, then you click on proceed. So once you click on proceed, it will show you that your first $200 is due today. The next one is due 26th of December. Then the last one is due 26th of January. Then you click on proceed. Okay. So once you click on proceed, you basically fill in your details here. You fill in your details, you fill in your email, your phone number, then you proceed to fill in your card details, then you click on pay for products. Once that is done, you've automatically been able to secure your spot. Now, once you make the payment, what you want to do is you want to come back to this, the main page, then click on upload your receipt here. So the receipt for the evidence for payment, you want to upload it here. So once you upload it here you also be filling the details, your details, the cohort that you want to register for. Now, a good thing that you can do is, even if you feel that December for you, your December is pretty filled up, what you might want to do is you might want to secure your spot for January class. So we have another program starting by January, first Saturday in January. So what you want to do is you might want to secure your spot for that January core program that is starting. Okay. So, and it's still the same thing. The discount is still open to you for the fact that you're on the call. Okay. So once you make the payment, you come here, you upload your receipt. It will show you the option and asking you, do you want to start by December 7 or you want to start by January 4th? Okay. So if you're not the one that if you're not looking to start by December, but you want to secure a spot so you don't miss out on the discount, then you might want to select January. Okay. So once you select January, you upload your receipt, you fill in your details, you submit, then my colleagues and my partners will basically come up to you and they'll be able to onboard you from there. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to click on that link and make sure that you are able to secure your spot as soon as possible, just so that you don't miss out on the discount. Okay. Okay. I have a line. Theophilus, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's actually our job to make sure that we are able to give the best to everybody that are looking to transition. All right. Information is priceless, and trust me, if you're able to get that information, the worst thing you want to do is get that information and not take action. All right. Tinu, thank you so much. Thank you for being part of the session. Thank you so much for waiting. What you want to do is try as much as possible to secure your spot before the discount runs out. All right. So I believe at this point you might want to secure your spot as possible. Then I'll be seeing you in class. Now, if we didn't get to talk about the program that you want to talk about, fill the form set up a request for a clarity session, and we'll be there to give you clarity to be able to know which one is best for you. Thank you for being part of the program, part of this session, and I'll be seeing you in class or in clarity session come December 7th or January 4th. All right. Thank you, everyone. And Edidion, would you round up?